Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Good early evening to you. This is the pup, and I'm doing a little bit of a midweek review. And first off, I want to apologize to my newsletter members. I did not get a chance to do a pick or do my weekend video, just due to the holidays. So I am making it up to you, and what I'm going to be going over are some of the trades that I got into today, a couple of that I am already in, and some things that I'm looking at for potentially the rest of the week going into next week. So first up, we have Blink Charging Company, BLNK. You can see we did retrace down between the 50 and 618% from this swing low to this swing high. I really like these pullback entries. JMIA, we caught PLNTR, we caught very much in a similar fashion. You can see I do have my 21 EMA on, and we did pull back to that 21. So a lot of confluence here on this move. I did take a position today, and what I'm looking for is this supply zone up here. So what you can see is people that, let's say they bought, up here, they're bag holding, or people that came here, they're bag holding down to here. So what's going to happen is we'll probably come up to about 24, 22. We have this 382 retracement level, but then we have this volume shelf right here, which is acting as a supply zone. So I'm fully expecting a sell-off into this move here, but I took the 25 calls for next week. So if we do get a dip tomorrow, could be a potential entry for that. Next up is DKNG, our good old buddy and good old pal DKNG. So we've had a nice recovery off of the lows here. And if we were to do, let's say, a retracement from this high to this low, you can see we are holding this 50% retracement level. We didn't quite come down to the 21 here, but I think that's okay. We don't always have to. But what I do see from this low that we're at right here, we are hitting a volume shelf. So this is acting as a little bit of a demand zone. What I would do here is I'll bring my volume by profile tool back to the previous high. And you can see we do have some support down here at 41.81. So that's acted as pretty good support on this move up. But we are forming a nice channel here. So you can see, let me get that percent change off. And, we can see that we are moving up in a channel. So we can continue to move up in this channel, over the next couple of days and maybe even weeks, until we get back up to maybe this $60 level. So I do like DKNG moving forward from here. And again, you could use stop loss of, let's say $45, like right under this previous high anchored VWAP. We could drop another anchored VWAP. You could use that as a resistance support level, I should say. And then if for topside resistance, you could see we already have passed. So we may pull back to this swing high anchored VWAP here. I would probably stop out of the trade if you're getting in up here under there. But again, I do like DKNG moving forward. Next up is Live Nation. Now we did get into this trade today. We took the, I believe it was the 75 calls for December 18. If we pull out a little bit, you can see we are hitting the top side of this channel, but I am targeting the 76.60 level up here. And we did get a little bit of relief news on, I believe, the stimulus package. So I think those talks are renewed and we might get some movement on that, so to speak. Let me move my volume by profile tool back to this previous low. You can see we are forming a little bit of a volume shelf here. So we may consolidate for just another few days. But it looks likely that, we've tested, we got rejected. We've tested, we've gotten rejected. Grab my annotation tool here. So we tested and got rejected, got rejected, got rejected, got rejected today. So, we are forming a bit of an ascending triangle. So, the more times you test a resistance level, the more likely it is going to break out. And with all this pent up energy, we can see the swing right up to that 76.60 level. So watching Live Nation. Next up is NIO. NIO pulled into our optimal buy zone today, so we did load up on this right here. I did take the 50 calls for December 18, so those actually paid pretty well buying it in this optimal buy zone here. And so next I'm looking for us to come to $50 again. I think that's where we've seen some struggles. That is our 236 retracement at 49.71. So maybe we break through that, maybe we pull back, I'm not sure, but I do like NIO back to 50. Next up is SE. So I got this Georgia Dome from Jake at TrendSpider, but SE has just been an absolute beast. Now, of course, I am a little concerned that we are losing a little bit of steam here, but if we can punch through this rounded top here, let's call it over 185. I think we could test 190 and then upwards of 200 from there. So keep an eye on SE. Next up is Snapchat. We've been in this trade since the break of the flag here. It's broke the flag. Let me grab my annotation tool. I always forget to do that. So, we flagged. We broke out of the flag, and now we flagged again, and now we're breaking out of that flag again. So I think Snapchat over, today's close, I think we will see $50 maybe tomorrow, maybe on Friday. And that will be a really big test for me. Now, I will be taking profit into $50, but, I wouldn't necessarily put away the idea of rolling up to a longer, higher strike. I would probably go out more like February if I was going to roll up at this point. But have traded this really, really well. So what I like to do is if you make good profit in a stock and you feel like there's more upside, don't be afraid to roll some of those profits into a longer, higher strike, longer expiration. Next up is TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor showed up on my scan today. We had a really nice setup here. We have a cup and handle breakout. And I think if we go down to the 30-minute chart, if I'm not mistaken, let's just double check that. Yeah, inverse head and shoulders. So we haven't quite broke out of the inverse head and shoulders just yet. But I did take an early entry because I'm using this volume shelf down here as a stop loss right under $27. So I do like TripAdvisor. The setup is pretty nice. So I think TripAdvisor over, let's call it 28.80 tomorrow. I think we can start moving our way back up to this $30 level. Twitter was another stock that we've been in. I'll show you quickly the 30-minute channel. I don't remember exactly from the 30-minute channel where we got in, but I think once I go to the daily, I can give you an idea. But yeah, we have a really nice channel here on the 30-minute. And if I go up to the daily, so yeah, we got in on, I think it was the break of, let me just double check. I think it was the break of this anchored VWAP up here. Yeah. So we got in pretty much right on the break of this anchored VWAP. And the thesis behind this trade was we keep seeing this volume gap right here. And so again, using TrendSpider's volume gap tool is really easy for us to see once we enter the gap, how price is pushing up in the gap. Now, when you have a volume gap like this, there is literally very little to no volume right here from this previous move. And so, the thesis is there's no traffic, right? You could price can really just melt right back up. And so that's what I'm thinking. I think we melt up right to this $50 level. We've done pretty well on these. I think we're up like about 40-50% on these contracts. I think we took the 50 Cs for December 18. But I wanted to show this just to illustrate, how powerful gap downs, when you get that reversal, when you have this big gap and then you have price start to reverse and make, a low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, then, we're in a new trend. We're in a new uptrend, and we could take this play right back up to close the gap. So, that's just not to say that I want you to take Twitter now, but I think this, again, is really a case in point of being able to watch these gap downs on your favorite names and seeing when does price reverse and where can you potentially get a good risk to reward entry. And the last one I'm going to go over is Uber. Uber had a really nice breakout. One of the members called this out in the room this morning. Let me close that. Not sure what that stuff is, but we played Uber a little while back and we did okay with it. Oh, that's the gap snake. I'm trying to turn the gap snake off. There we go. And, we had this inverse head and shoulders here. Let me grab my resistance tool. You can see we did break out. We were chopping around over on this level, trying to break out over here. We finally did break out, and we did take the trade up to the $50 level. I do love playing these round number psychological levels, but now you can see on the daily chart, we are breaking out. Now, I did close my trade coming into this 4236 at 53.53. So I am going to be watching it, but I'm just just starting to do my charting, and I'm noticing we have a little bit of a megaphone pattern here. So interesting, we're having this broadening formation. We can even draw it from down here. So, something to definitely keep an eye on for Uber, but I think this on a potential pullback, if we were to pull back and retest that $50 level to eventually move back up, I think this could be a good pullback entry to take the trade higher. So that's my midweek review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email, via direct message, or straight on Twitter. If I always say if somebody has a question, there's probably other people that have that same question. So why not ask it publicly on Twitter? And then maybe you're helping out your fellow traders and your fellow investors. So thanks again for being me. This is the Pup. Over and out.